Welcome back. I'm Virginia at Montessori Farm School, and I'm going to talk to you about creating your own money exchange game at home. If you're one of our families, you know that I did record a video about this during the first week of the closure, but I also went and got the box that we have at school so that you could see this setup, and I'm re-recording it in case you've lost that along the way. We did the money exchange game because it reinforces a base 10 system. It's very similar to a golden bead exchange game, and children, especially around 5, are really interested in money, and so it teaches a little bit about cents and dollars, but mostly we want to get them to really practice and get enthusiastic about having 10 of the same thing. We make an exchange. So there's a place value built into this exercise. I have a really old plastic box that I'm abnormally attached to. It was my grandmother's, but you can put it on a tray, a basket, a box, whatever you like. I just think this is so super cool. And then the elements that you're going to need are a small amount of dimes, depending on how many people are playing. And the cool thing about this game is you can play with just one player. Yay. But I would say if you're going to have 2 players, have at least 20 dimes, just to be on the safe side. And I have a little bowl of pennies too, and I have plenty of those, about 20 again, unless you figure all the people in your household are going to play, you may need more. And then a paper dollar bill. And when I was trying to create this at home during the first week of our shutdown, it was nearly impossible to find. And a single die. So my regular exchange game has one that just goes 1 to 3, but this is a regular die that goes all the way to 6. So I'm just going to take those elements out of the box, and we're going to talk about these first. If I hadn't introduced this to the children already, I would tell them that these are called pennies. That's a nice point of interest. They might already know that, and that they're each worth 1 cent. And the word cent is probably going to be new to them if they're not working with that a lot. And this is called a dime, and it's worth 10 cents. So this is 1, and this is 10. If they're familiar with the decimal system, we could compare this to a 10 bar in our classroom. And they may come up with that on their own, especially if they've played this at school, and a lot of our guys have. And then we talk about this being a dollar bill, but it's worth actually 100 cents. And they might say to you, oh, like 100 square. So if I had both of those things here, I would bring out a unit bead, a golden unit bead, and put it next to the penny, and a 10 bar and put it next to the dime, and 100 square and put it next to the dollar. But most of you at your home don't have golden bead materials. So we can just work with these as 1, 10, and 100. And so I'm going to just set the $1 aside, and even the dimes. We'll keep the pennies handy. If I'm playing with another player, they would be sitting across, and we would take turns, of course, rolling the die. I got a 3, and I would lay out 1, 2, 3. It's great if you're teaching this to keep them in a line and get them in the habit, and keep them in the habit of counting in a line very carefully from left to right. Or you could just be having fun with it. So now the other player would go. When it's my turn again, I would notice that there were 5. Count it if you're not sure. And then add 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After each turn, you'll see when I work with the children, if you're in the classroom, that I'm going to count again. I wonder if I have 10. If I have 10, I get to exchange. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not yet. How many more will I need? Well, it's your turn. We would let the other person take their turn. Then I would roll. I got 1. Maybe I have 10 now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm so close. I think I only need 1 more. I would let that person take their turn, and then we would come back to me. 5. That's even more than 1. Oh, I'm going to count out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love the way this turned out because now we're going to count and we're going to get a remainder, so it's super cool. But I wouldn't bring that up at this point. So we're going to start and see when we get to 10, we always want to make a big deal about that so that they will know, 10 is a magic number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10! I get to exchange. I have 10. 10 ones is the same as 1 10. 10 pennies is the same as 1 dime. So I would take just these 10, I'm going to put them back and exchange them for 1 10-cent piece. This is called a dime. And I still have some pennies left over. I don't have to exchange those unless I have another 10. Let's see if I have another 10 in pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not yet. And so we would go back and forth, of course, until we got to 10 dimes. 10 tens is the same as 100, which is what I would call this in this game. They might say it's $1. Yeah, it's worth 100 cents. And you can play until everybody gets to $1. You can play as long as you want. And as I said, the beauty of this type of activity is they can play on their own. So you can have them sitting at the kitchen bar next to you. You're prepping dinner, they're playing this. You can keep on rooting them on and listening to them count and encouraging them to think about getting a 10. And children that play these kinds of games often will just, many of them will start to kind of mentally add and subtract in their head. So they'll know when they have 6 that they only need 4 more, and that's a great skill to have going forward. This is really fun. There's a lot you can do with it. It only requires some pennies, some dimes, $1, and one of these. Have a great time. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.